Creating a painting with oil paint is extremely difficult, but creating a painting with watercolor may be even more difficult, simply because you can't easily make corrections. What you paint is what you get. Throughout history, great American artists have used watercolor to tremendous effect, including Winslow Homer and Andrew Wyeth. In the marine field, Carl Evers is the standard by which everyone else is measured. Today, one of the premier marine watercolorists is artist Jim Griffiths. He's concentrated his subject matter and become an expert in clipper ships and steel Navy vessels. Today, I've asked him to spend a few minutes describing for us his intentions, 6 clipper ship paintings and 1 liner painting. In the following video, I encourage you to notice the tremendous detail he's able to get, as well as the fantastic effects using gouache only, which is the opaque form of watercolor paint.
This painting is called On Company Business and shows the British clipper Lightning running hard with topsails reefed before a strong wind in a nighttime thunderstorm. For an able-bodied seaman to be on company business was often a very dangerous and life-threatening profession. And one of the worst times in my mind to be doing that job would be in the middle of the night in a raging thunderstorm, where all around is darkness and the rain so thick you can hardly see your hand in front of your face, and suddenly a giant bolt of lightning like a strobe illuminates the scene. And that's what I tried to capture in this piece. The stark brilliance, the strong contrasts of light and darks. I've also used a large number of diagonals to indicate all of this motion. The waves, as you look up from the trough, are angled against the sky and the clouds running. The ship is heeled over at another diagonal, and the lightning bolt is splitting down from the sky on it. It's one of those scenes that I hope the viewer can look at and perhaps appreciate what it would be to be in a situation like that. This painting is called On a Wind That Follows Fast, and it is of the American clipper Witch of the Wave. I did this painting because I wanted to do a scene where it was one of those special days at sea where the weather was good, the strong winds were filling the sails, and the clipper was running at her best, heeled over on a rolling ocean. Compositionally, I was imagining what it would be like to be in the trough of a wave, mid-ocean, and suddenly turn to see this beautiful ship sailing past. I placed the ship over on the right-hand side of the painting and had positioned you down in the trough of the wave so that at any moment the crest of the wave rolling up would obscure your view, or the ship might sail out of the little window that I've created for the viewer to see. I've captured that one moment where you would see the spectacular vessel sailing past. This painting is called Last of the Day, and in it I have put the American extreme clipper ship John Bertram. But the ship is not the main reason or the real subject of this painting. It's the background clouds that are reflecting the last of the sun's rays. I had been fortunate enough to actually get a photograph of this particular cloud formation, and I was fascinated with how the sun had cut almost a horizontal line across the clouds, separating it from the warmth of the upper clouds in the oranges and yellows, and from the lower clouds in shadow in the blues and grays and purples. Sunsets have always just intrigued me. They're so wonderful, and the main reason for doing this painting was to try and see if I could recapture that moment when I'd seen it and pass it on to whoever was looking at the picture. Hopefully you will enjoy it as much as I did. This painting is called Heavy Weather and shows the American clipper ship Flying Fish. This is another of my nighttime thunderstorm lightning illuminated scenes. It's a subject that I just really enjoy painting, with the lightning providing an opportunity to show extreme contrasts in light and dark, and an opportunity to use a lot of action through the diagonals in the movement of the water, the clouds, the ship, and the lightning. In this scene, I have flying fish biting into a wave. She's reefed, the wind is strong, pushing her forward, and it almost seems as if the movement of the diagonals from left to right are pushing her into the lightning bolt that is coming at the opposite angle. This painting is called The Comet Under Moonlight, and I did this painting for two reasons. The first, I wanted to show off what the deck of the ship looked like. To do that, I heeled her over towards the viewers so you could get a good look at it. What intrigued me about Comet was that the poop breaks before the main mast instead of breaking before the mizzen mast, and I found that very interesting. The other thing that I wanted to do was try and capture the quality of light that you get at night under a hazy full moon. It's a very monochromatic situation, and you have to be very careful in how you control the values in the clouds. One of the things that I really like about these moonlit scenes is that the clouds closest to the moon are quite bright, but very quickly they fade away into the darkness of the night. The other thing that I really enjoy doing is trying to capture the effects of light on moving water. The sparkling quality, the movement, it just intrigues me, and it's something I've always tried to capture. So hopefully when you look at this, you'll be able to see it in a different light, so to speak. This painting is called Fleeting Colors, and I'm showing the British tea clipper Tatesing under strong winds in the Southern Ocean heading to China. One of the things I greatly enjoy painting are the sunset skies. It gives me a chance to use a whole spectrum of colors that I wouldn't normally be able to use in a regular daytime painting. There's such a great variety in the clouds, in their shapes, in their colors. It's an opportunity to really kind of let loose. And the other thing that I greatly enjoy doing is showing images of actual skies. So the painting here has a sky that I was able to capture on my camera and pass on to someone else. I've also wanted to show a great deal of activity in the water, and between the diagonals there and the foam-capped waves and the various diagonals in the sky, and with the sails billowing, it's a chance to show one of these magnificent ships running before the wind in all her glory. This painting is called Mauritania Departing New York, and aptly enough, it depicts the Cunard Line ocean liner Mauritania passing the Statue of Liberty on her way out of New York Harbor for her voyage across the Atlantic to Europe in the autumn of 1911. Doing this painting was a really nice change of pace for me from doing nothing but sailing ships. Here was a steel-hulled, sleek vessel whose reputation, for more than 22 years, she was the fastest North Atlantic liner. And her long lines, the rake of her smokestacks, and the masts, she was just a subject I've been really wanting to do for a long time. And here I painted her leaving New York Harbor. It's a chilly day. There's some white caps on the water. Lots of smoke billowing out of the other ships around her. But you can rest assured that the people in first class are going to have one great time on their trip across the Atlantic.